Okay, we are live, and I cannot get this. Hang on, bear with me. I'm trying to get this video so that I'm looking at the camera, and it just wants to keep on jumping to different screens. Why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing that. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, it's good enough. That's good. All right, we're good. All right, well, howdy everybody, and welcome to another Sunday Trippy Food live stream, a themed Trippy Food live stream. Today we are doing our blueberry live stream. Who do we got? We got Ice Hand so far. Welcome, Ice Hand. I'm glad you could make it. I missed you guys. Obviously, the past couple of weeks we have not live streamed, and we have not live streamed because the first weekend my cousins were visiting here from California, and we were kind of showing them around. So that was nice. And then the last weekend was Claudia's birthday. So we had gone to the big city, Bogota, for her birthday and had a good time doing that, but obviously did not live stream. Brendan Krieger is here. Welcome, Brendan. I saw your comment on the video saying that you couldn't wait to be here. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you joined us. Miguel Rangel is here as well. How is the lighting, the audio, the video, everything? You know, how is everything? My hair's kind of goofy. It's getting too long. Val needs a haircut. So that's going to happen soon. There's a place I go in Bogota. So the next time, I didn't have time to go last weekend. So next time I'm down there, I will get that cut because I'm starting to look a little bit like Doc Brown. Looks good, sounds good. Okay, that thumbnail is funny. Yes, I tried to be funny with the thumbnail. So I don't want to get too much into the thumbnail because we'll kind of talk about it in a little while, but there is a reference to that, but as long as we were talking about blueberries. So we're going to be doing all things blueberry. There'll be a couple of other things thrown in here as well as they're related to blueberries because, you know, we're doing things that have blueberry in it and things with, you know, blueberry-ish stuff. So there'll be a couple of other things. We're probably not going to do goût mélange today, only because a lot of the stuff really is not kind of geared to goût mélange and everything. So no goût mélange today. I will do some trivia questions. We'll throw some trivia questions out there, some blueberry-related trivia questions. So it's all good. All right. So according to this little number up here, we have 7 people in the room. That's a lot for just starting out. I don't know who all 7 are because I only see Ice Hand, Brendan, and I'm sorry, Brenda. I apologize. Ice Hand, Brenda, and Miguel Rangel are the only ones I see there. So the rest of you are lurking out there and are quiet. Well, okay, we just went down to 6. So that narrows it down. That means that there's only 3 people that we don't know that are in the room. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that number works. I don't know if that means that I'm going to move this down just a little bit so you guys can see over there. I'm not sure if that number means that there are 7 people in total watching. I don't know if that means that there are 7 subscribers in there. I don't even know if that means there's 7 people in the chat. I honestly don't know what that means. But hey, Janice is here. Now it's a party. Welcome, Janice. Glad to see you. Have not seen you in 3 weeks, but that's entirely my fault. I'm so glad you could make it. Your streak is still unbroken, and my guess is will be unbroken for a very, 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 very long time. So, your streak of being on every episode was broken by you, but it has not been beaten, and I don't think it will be beaten anytime soon. All right, I have which finger is it? This one. I have my incense burning back there. And I'm second guessing having done that because it's kind of like I'm kind of getting the smoke from that over here. It's kind of irritating me a little bit, but we'll deal with it. It's one of my favorite scents. You guys want to take a guess? You guys want to take a guess at that? I have incense burning. It's my favorite incense. Does anyone want to take a guess at what the smell is? Blueberry incense. That would be appropriate. That would be good. I don't know if they make blueberry incense. I'm going to check. You would think in this area that they would make blueberry incense. Maybe they do. And if they do, I'm going to find out. And by the way, hello, Adam. Glad you could make it. Can you take a guess at the thumbnail? Yeah, yes, you can. It's going to be a trivia question later on, but that's fine too. So go ahead, Janice. Take a guess at the thumbnail. Just say Janice has the record for special guest star appearances on the Trippy Food Show. That is correct. Now I'm trying to remember, Janice. I know we've done episodes before, but did we ever do a live stream before? Janice, did you come over and we do a live stream back in California? Because I seem to recall we did a live stream. We did a live stream together. Yes, Miguel. Okay. Hi, I'm running to the store, but I'll be right back to join you. Well, we'll be here waiting for you, Jules. Because of the whole blueberry theme, I decided to wear blue. I don't look like the blueberry that I look like in the thumbnail, but yeah. I did one live stream with you. Yeah, I thought I remember doing a live stream with you, Janice. We should go. So Janice, those are up. You could actually go and find that and post the link for that so everybody can watch that live stream. Our live streams are about 2 hours long, but they're fun. So, if you've got 2 hours to spare, you might want to go through some of those old live streams. I mean, some of the thematic ones are pretty cool because we've only done stuff on the live streams and thematic ones that are pretty cool. So I think you might enjoy those. So I don't know if you guys do that. I don't know if you guys look at the old live streams that we do, but yeah, they're out there because that incense is messing with my throat. Gonna have a little bit of water there. All right. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody coming in? Oh, okay. Now everybody's just saying hello to each other. That's cool. All right. It looks like we still have 7 people. So maybe this is the 7 people they're gonna stay with us throughout this live stream that we're gonna carry through, and we have 7 people for our Colombian blueberry dinner. Yeah, it doesn't have to be Colombian blueberry dinner. Blueberries are all over the place, but they do grow them locally here in Colombia, where we are in Colombia, in the Andes Mountains. I think they're mountainous things. They grow in the mountains, and well, I think there's 2 kinds of blueberries. There's low bush blueberries, and there's high bush blueberries or something. And one grows in the mountain, and one grows in the wetlands. And I don't know the whole 10 things about it. Eli is here. Welcome, Eli. Glad you could make it. We are only 8 minutes in, so we do have some time, and we're just gonna have a lot of fun with blueberries today. It sounds weird. In other news, let's see, what we call him, the Dog Knight, because we have the Prince of Dogness, and now we have the Dog Knight, and he may visit us today. So we were walking down into the village yesterday, and this what I thought was a puppy, not a puppy though, but this little dog came up to us and just was following us into the village, just kept on following us, and we're just like, this must belong to somebody. It has to belong to somebody. But no, he just completely followed us. So as long as we were in the village, we went to the veterinarian in the village, took him in there. They took a look at him and they said, no, I don't think anybody owns him. He's got fleas. He's missing his bottom teeth and everything. So he's been outside for a while. I don't think anybody owns him. And so, we had the doctors kind of clean him up. We have to bring him back to, have the, but we can't find anybody who is missing a little dog. And so now Doodle has a friend, kind of like a friend with benefits. So, I don't judge, I don't judge. The thumbnail is a nod to Charlie in the chocolate factory when Baroque salt ate the gum, puffed up like a blueberry. Well, you're close, Janice. You are very, very close. But we'll wait till the trivia question. But you're on track. You're so close. Missed it by that much. So Doodle has a brother now. I would not call him a brother because Doodle does things with him that brothers shouldn't do. So they play. They play. Not in an aggressive way or anything, but yeah. Again, I don't judge. So did I miss anybody? I got Brenda, I got Miguel, got Jules, got Ice Hand, Adam. I think I got everybody. Oh, Steve Russell, who just snuck into the room. Yeah, we got a nice number now. We're up to 11. And I know some people might think that's a nice number. I mean, other people, when they do a live stream, they get thousands of people now. I'm not really looking for, huge numbers on the live stream. I'm looking for a group of people who interact, who are vocal, and who enjoy the live streams. And so like the number to me, it's kind of irrelevant. It's irrelevant what the number is. If we have 2 people in here and the 2 people are interactive and the 2 people have really enjoyed the live stream and really, express themselves in the live stream and partake in it, I'm okay with that. But we do have more than that today because we have 12 so far. My bulldog does the same thing with my lab. Does it when he's very energetic. So like the big difference is at Julie's, she had 2 dogs because Vader just recently died. He was, I think, 14. I want to say he was 14 years old. But so Vader was a Boston Terrier, and the big dog is I'm pretty sure he's a mutt. So that's Fang. Fang is a mutt. And then Fang when he would get a little randy, would try to go at it with Vader, and Vader wasn't having any of that. So he'd be like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." They would like, you'd hear them barking at each other and all hell breaking loose. Also with Doodle had a boyfriend, Andy. Andy was a wiener dog, and Doodle had a liking for Andy, but Andy didn't return that. So like Doodle would get romantic with Andy, and Andy would be annoyed by it. Didn't bark or snap or anything, but you could tell he was annoyed, and he just like kind of pushed Doodle away. Canelo, who is the new dog, Canelo and Doodle, I don't judge. His name is Canelo because the Spanish word for cinnamon is canela, and he's kind of cinnamon color. So we kind of named him Canelo because Canelo is the male version of canela, which is the Spanish word for cinnamon. Maybe he'll show up today. The thing is like now Doodle has a playmate, and I kind of like maybe exaggerate a little bit about the whole boyfriend thing, but he does have a playmate and somebody he spends time with, and the 2 of them they'll sit on the couch together and stuff like that. And he's only been here 1 day, but for Doodle it's like really nice for him because he has somebody to keep him company and play with him. R.I.P. Yeah, Vader was Julie's dog. Sad music and Doodle's tragic romantic past is told. Yeah. And the thing was, so Andy, when we moved away from LA, Doodle didn't really see Andy that much. And then Andy got sick and died before Doodle had a chance to see him again. So I don't know what goes through a dog's mind. I don't know if he misses him. I don't know how that works. But like I said, now Doodle has a playmate and somebody to spend time with, and they run around in the yard together and everything. So it's kind of cool. You're always nervous when you introduce another dog because you never know if they're going to get along. Doodle doesn't get jealous, and they don't bark at each other or anything else like that. They get along famously. So it works, and we're glad it works. Jared Tierno is just popping in for a little bit. My Florida trip was great. Are we going to hear about it? Can we? Can you give us some high points of the Florida trip, or as long as you're here, tell us what some of the high points of your Florida trip was. Where did you go in Florida? Did you go all over Florida? Did you go to a certain place? What was it like? We want to know. So Jared, when you get a chance, tell us a little bit about your Florida trip. It'd be fun to talk about. All right, we're just about at 3:15, or at 3:15 here, 4:15 in the Boston. It's Doodle, the Prince of Dogness. Doodle, where's your new friend? You didn't bring your new friend. You want to come up and say hi? Come on. Everybody, it's Doodle, the Prince of Dogness. You want a snack? Is that why you came up? You want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? They're out there. They're right out there, Doodle. You want to say hi to them? No? Doodle had a bath, so he smells nice. Had a bath yesterday. You want a snack? Doodle wants a snack. Doodle, the Prince of Dogness, everybody. Hope he'll be back later. What did I do with his snacks? And I brought, I brought them in a separate bowl. I'm going to kind of give him half so we can pace him. There you go, dude. Okay. And off he goes. Yes? Yep, there he goes. So this is the snack he has. Now, like any good pet owner, dog dad, whatever you want to call it, we want to know what we're giving our pets. Ooh, that's crunchy. It's on the sweet side too. Not sure what exactly everything that's in that. It's tasty. It tastes like meat. I don't think there's any meat in there. I think they're natural. They're nice. Maybe we'll put some blueberry syrup on that later. All right. Lots of fun rides, food, and a lot of walking. All right, Jared. Well, we're here if you want to let us know. All right, so let's get started. We're going to start, as we always do, with our adult beverage. And our adult beverage is again from Bruder. We've done Bruder beers before. Bruder Cerveza Artesanal was founded in Tunja, Colombia, not like tuna sandwich, tuna or tuna salad, Tunja, Colombia, by Hector and Julian Martinez in 2009. And again, we've done a lot of, they're really good beers. I don't think we've had a Bruder beer that we didn't like. My favorite is the, what is the stout? It's a something stout. I can't remember what chocolate stout, I think it is. Really, really good. So this one is Bruder Cerveza Saborizada a Arándanos y Frutos Rojos. So that's beer flavored with blueberries and red fruit, which is a little bit weird. Now, this is 4.44% ABV. And here's the weird part, right? 4.4 is a little bit low because the average is about 5.5. This is 4.4, but it still has the Colombian Board of Health warning on the bottom that it has excess alcohol, and I'm not quite sure why. Okay, so before I crack this open, let's talk about blueberries and let's talk about Arándanos, because you're going to see the name Arándanos a lot today, because Arándanos is the Spanish, at least Colombian name for blueberries. Now, here's the weird part about it. In Colombia, they call two things Arándanos. One is blueberries. They call blueberries Arándanos, and they call another kind of fruit Arándanos. Did anyone want to take a guess? Take a guess at what other fruit in Colombia they refer to as Arándanos. Arándanos are blueberries, but also another fruit that's, I don't think is similar at all, but I guess they do, that they refer to as Arándanos. Anybody? Is this thing on? You guys are there, right? I didn't lose you, because I didn't, sometimes I'll just be sitting here talking and you guys are gone and I don't realize it. Like we lost the connection. There we go. Strawberry, no, good guess. Strawberries are called fresas, which I think most Spanish-speaking countries, including Mexico, call them fresas. F-R-E-S-A-S. Freak Guru is here. Welcome, Freak. Glad you could make it. We're just getting started here. We're just about to crack open this Bruder Cerveza Artesanal, Cerveza Saborizada a Arándanos y Frutos Rojos, which is blueberry and red fruit beer. Cranberry, yes, Janice, you are absolutely correct. So when you go to the store, you're gonna buy some like cranberries. These are Arándanos deshidratados. Deshidratados, I think that's how you say that. And these are dried cranberries, but they're also called Arándanos, which is kind of the weirdest thing. But and you see the little warning on there because they also have excess sugar. They put sugar in there as well. So you go to the store, there's your Arándanos, and these are get that open. They're really large, these blueberries. So blueberries, Arándanos, same thing. Okay, so let's get this open. Ooh, that was satisfying. Can't say it smells like blueberry. You guys want to take a stab at what color this is? Let's see. I'm going to guess it's kind of a reddish. It is a purplish color. And that's the thing about blueberries, is that blueberries, they're blue on the outside, but they're kind of a purple on the inside. That's a light color. But it does say there's red fruit in here as well. And so red berries, so like red berries would be like strawberries, raspberries, things like that. I'm expecting this to be tart. Oh, it's not that tart. It's very fruity, very sweet. Really, really nice flavor. Man, like I said, I have not had a Bruder beer that I did not like. This is really nice. This is, the thing about this is it doesn't have that beer, like some beers, especially the ones when you start getting up to like 6% ABV and stuff like that, they have that kind of bite, that alcohol bite to it that you just can't kind of get rid of. This one doesn't, which makes it like dangerous because, on a warm day, you're sitting out there, you're having this nice cold beer, and it's fruity, it's light, it's tart, it's tangy. That's dangerous. You could go through that with very easily. And again, it's 4.4, so maybe it's not too bad. That's a big thumbs up. That is a big thumbs up right there. All right, so I think what we're going to do is, see, did I have a beer question? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, I have some extra questions and stuff, so I'm just going to kind of throw them out there. Well, I'll tell you what. So let me throw this question out there because Janice brought it up. So here's the question, and a couple of people took a guess at this, or a couple people mentioned it. So if you guys did not see the thumbnail I put for the notification that we were going to be doing a live stream, if you guys didn't see that, I did a thumbnail, AI, of course, and I made myself look like a character from, well, let's kind of go through it. So here's who I made myself look like. What is the name of the character in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory who turns into a blueberry after eating 3-course dinner gum? Again, what is the name of the character in the film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory who turns into a blueberry after eating 3-course dinner gum? Oh, okay. I got a message, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't you guys telling me, Val, you're off the air. Brenda, you are correct. It is Violet, and to be very, very specific, it is Violet Beauregard. Violet Beauregard is the character who ate the 3-course dinner gum, and there was a mishap with the dessert, which was blueberry pie, and she turned into a giant blueberry, so they had to take her into the juicing room to get her out of that blueberry state. So that's kind of what I was going with the thumbnail, was me as maybe not as Violet Beauregard, but as somebody who ate that gum and had the mishap with the faulty blueberry pie portion of that. That is tasty. I really do like that. All right. Maybe like I should have like a blueberry as a chaser after I try each thing, just, pop a blueberry or something like that. How many of you guys like blueberries? I'm assuming you've all had blueberries, but just in case, let me just kind of throw this out there. How many of you guys like blueberries? Are there any of you out there that do not like blueberries, that you've had blueberries and do not like them, or have had things with blueberry in them and didn't like them? All right, so what I'm going to do today is a little bit different. Is I'm going to go into our beverage, our non-adult beverage. Calling it a soft drink doesn't really work so much. Brenda loves blueberries. I like blueberries. I don't know, like I'll put them in my oatmeal in the morning. When I have oatmeal, I'll put blueberries, strawberries, bananas. I'll put those in my oatmeal. I like to eat blueberries. I don't know if I just like them to pop them and eat them and everything, but I do like the flavor, and I like things that they are in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a couple of ice cubes in my glass. I have the ice cubes keeping a couple of our snacks cold in this bowl, and we are going to have blueberry limonada. Now, I'm saying limonada for a very, very specific reason. So this is essentially blueberry lemonade. It's a big thing here. It's actually common even in the United States. You can get blueberry lemonade. I think I'm trying to remember the companies that make the bottle the blueberry lemonade and everything. But this is like hardcore, like made with lemons. I'm sorry, not made with lemons. I'll get to that in a second. But Claudia helped me. We made blueberry limonada. Now here's why I'm calling it blueberry limonada and not blueberry lemonade. Because I don't know if it's in all Spanish-speaking countries, but it's certainly in Colombia, limon. Let me show you what a limon is, and you guys might be a little bit surprised. This is a limon. All right. Now, you guys would know this as a lime, but this is a limon. And so when you have lemonade down here, or limonada, it's typically going to be made with this and not with lemon. They'll call the lemon limón amarillo, or yellow lemon. But this is what they call a lemon, a limon. And so this is what we use to make the blueberry lemonade. So we use this. We used a little bit of honey. What else did we put in there? I think we kind of kept it simple. Now you can make variations of that. Like when you go into restaurants down here, if you want to get lemonade, sometimes they'll have like lemonade with mint. They'll have lemonade with cocoa. I'm sorry, cocoa being coconut, not cocoa, C-O-C-O-A. Lemonade with coconut lemonade. It's amazing. It's really, really good. They have different kinds of lemonade. So we just made basic blueberry limonada, which is with lime and not lemon. Here's another one. This one, these are really interesting because typically they're orange inside. I haven't opened this one up. We have a tree in the backyard that these grow on. Very unusual color on the outside. And then depending on what point of the ripening you get them, they're kind of like an orange color, not like an orange, like a light yellow orange on the inside. Very unusual color. Let's see. Do I have a sharp knife? Maybe we'll cut this one open and we'll see if that one is or not. So that's limonada or lemonade. Here is made with limes, what we would call limes, as opposed to lemons. All right. So I got a couple of ices. I have a couple of ice cubes in the glass. I'm just going to shake that up a little bit to remix that. And again, you can add mint to that if you want. You can, just add different things. Don't go too crazy because then you have a bunch of flavors that are like fighting each other and everything. But we're going to go ahead and try this. There's definitely a blueberry color, and you'll notice that when I say it's blueberry color, it's like a reddish. It's like almost a purple. Let's ask a trivia question. All right, so here's the thing about blueberries is like when you look at them, right here, they're blue. They match my shirt, right? They're blue. But when you cook with them or when you cut them open in the inside, they're kind of a purplish color. So here's my question. What comedian famously said, why is, and I'm going to do the first part and then kind of cut towards the end part. So what comedian famously said, why is there no blue food? There's no blue. Oh, they say blueberries. Blue on the vine, purple on the plate. So which comedian is that quote attributed to? Why is there no blue food? There's no blue. Oh, they say blueberries. Blue on the vine, purple on the plate. All right. So tell me who that was, and we're going to try this. Lavender bitters, that'd be nice too. I was looking at some recipes. I don't know if you can really recipes, but I've seen recipes and they put like a shot of some kind of alcohol in there and everything. But that would defeat the purpose of us doing an adult beverage and a non-adult beverage. Ooh, that's nice. Oh yeah, it's tart from the limon. I'm going to call it limon. You guys know it as lime. I'm going to call it limon. Has that tartness, and blueberries have a little bit of tartness to them themselves. some of them suggest, you throw some blueberries in the glass. That's like boba, right? You need the boba straw. You want to get those blueberries up there and everything. I think they're kind of a distraction in this. On this, we want the taste of the lime and the taste of the blueberry to shine in there, and they both do. And again, you can buy this in bottles, but I think if you make it yourself, I think it's going to be much, much better. Just you put water, blueberries. We put a little bit of honey in there. Put that in the blender. Oh, and the lime, of course. And so you're going to squeeze the juice of the lime in there. You're going to put some pulp in there if you can get the pulp in there. And then just take one of the peels and throw the whole thing in the blender. You'll get more of the flavor from the skin of the lime in there as well. This is really nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, blueberry. Who doesn't love a blueberry Danish, right? Okay, my question was what comedian famously said, "Why is there no blue food? There's no blue." Oh, they say blueberries. Blue on the vine, purple on the plate. So Brenda guessed Gallagher. Ice Hand guessed G. Carlin, which I assume is George Carlin. And Steve Russell guessed Carrot Top. Oh, and Janice Yamanaka just guessed George Carlin. It is, in fact, George Carlin. And it's funny because I didn't really look that one up. I just always remember that routine. And I think he was on Saturday Night. Why did he say Saturday? Saturday Night Live, and he added that into his routine on Saturday Night Live, talking about blueberries, how they're blue on the vine, purple on the plate. They don't grow on a vine; they grow on a bush, actually. But the joke's still funny. All right, he was the first. On the very first episode of Saturday Night Live, he was the host. Well, I didn't realize that, freak. Maybe that's where he did his routine. Because I also remember hearing his routine from when I was a teenager. Where I had a few George Carlin albums, which were really interesting because, like the 7 words you can't say on television, we're not going to say them here. But actually, some of them you can say on television now. So that was really weird. Just had the most embarrassing experience. There's a house for sale in my neighborhood, and I'm on a walk. Thought nobody was home, so I was just going to take a quick peek in, and the realtor was there. Oh, well, at one point in time, you just said to the realtor, "Hey, I was just really interested, wanted to see what the house looked like on the inside." It didn't have to be embarrassing, I guess. Unless you or they were naked, then it could have been embarrassing. All right, that's a thumbs up as well. So I have a feeling this is going to go really well together. Let's do this. Same color. And that beer smell. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's outstanding. Well, you probably recall, because we've done several episodes and several live streams where we've done Rafajo. The Rafajo is a Colombian drink. It's typically half beer, and it's usually Aguila, which is like the Budweiser of Colombia, and half Colombiana, which is, they call it champagne cola. It's kind of like a cream soda kind of thing. This is essentially what we just essentially made we didn't use soda, we used the lemonade, but we just essentially made a Rafajo. This is delicious. The effervescence in the beer adds the bubbles to it. The flavor, the blueberry flavor is accented because of the strong blueberry flavor in the beer and the fresh blueberries we use in the lemonade. Those go really, really well together. That's really nice. Oh yeah, that's a big thumbs up. See, now you guys, you could do this, right? Because you could do that easy enough. This is the hard part, right? But yeah, thumbs up on that. That is awesome. All right, maybe we'll have some more lemonade in a little bit. What is Colombia's moonshine firewater? Well, I'm glad you asked. It is aguardiente. An aguardiente, I think it actually means firewater. So aguardiente is a white rum that is flavored with anise, or as Anthony Bourdain said, It tastes like anise and shame. So aguardiente is a icebreaker. It's a thing that helps loosen people up when they're at a party. So, it's a very, very social drink. People usually drink it in shots. Now, over the years, they've made some without sugar. They made a sugarless one, and because by itself it tastes like anise, like licorice, almost like licorice candy. It's not licorice, it's anise, so it has, there's a difference in flavor, but it kind of has that reminiscence. It's almost like a candy. It packs a kick. And so what happens is you get together with a bunch of people, and somebody will bring out a bottle of aguardiente, and they'll bring out the shot glasses and pour a shot glass, and it's kind of like rude to say no thanks, I don't want any. It's kind of rude, which is tough for alcoholics, I imagine. But it loosens you up and loosens your inhibitions. Now, that's not always a good thing, because if it loosens your inhibitions and you're a jerk, it's not going to be a good thing. I will relate a story that I went to Claudia's 40th, I think it was 40th high school reunion, or colegio. They don't have high school down here. It's colegio is what they call it. I went to the 40th reunion. Now, I was the only spouse that was there. And this was probably, I want to say like 20 years ago, something like that. And my knowledge of my Spanish was not very good. So when I got there, they said, "Oh, have some aguardiente," obviously in Spanish. And we would do shots. And I don't remember how many I did, but I told Claudia, I said, "I thought I only had like 6." And she goes, "Man, maybe you stopped counting at 6 or anything." And that's the phone. And so Claudia said to me, this is afterwards, because I don't remember a whole lot about it, but she said afterwards, she said, "I'm sitting there with my head in my hands, and I'm saying in Spanish," I couldn't even tell you how to say this right now, but she said, "I'm saying in Spanish, I don't understand this. I'm speaking fluent Spanish, and I don't know Spanish. How is this happening?" And she says, "I'm saying this in Spanish." And apparently, everyone had fun at the party, and we had a laugh, and I was giving people piggyback rides and stuff like that. So that is the long way of answering your question, Eli, of what is Colombia's moonshine firewater. It is aguardiente. So I don't know if we've had aguardiente on a couple of episodes. I think we did like Colombian bar snacks, and I think we did aguardiente on there. We have another one coming up that I'll be doing, because there is aguardiente amarillo, which is yellow aguardiente. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it colored yellow, or what's going on with it and everything? But apparently it's a thing, and it's been a thing like for over 100 years. So we'll be doing that soon. Just a shot, I'm sure. Water too. That's what I thought too with the dente part, but it doesn't. It means firewater for some reason. Aguardiente, not like dente, D-E-N-T-E, D-I-E-N-T-E. So I honestly don't know. Maybe you can look that up, or maybe you can put that in Google Translate. Aguardiente. So it's A-G-U-A-R-D-I-E-N-T-E. Aguardiente. All right. Now you're gonna make some blueberry. Oh, blueberry aguardiente. Yes, that is an excellent idea. I just kind of like put the blueberries in there and let them sit in the. Oh my God, that's a great idea. Thank you, Eli. I think we're definitely gonna do that. Do me a favor, leave a comment on the live stream and remind me to do that, just so that so I see the comment and I remember to do that. I definitely want to do that. Ardiente means burning. Okay, so it's burning water. The agua part is obviously water. So burning water. That makes sense. They say fire water, as their translation. So. All righty, so let's get into our snacks. What do we want to do first? Let's see. Let's do the chocolates first. I think we're going to do that. So there is I'll call it a chain down here called Don Arándano, and Don Arándano literally means Mr. Blueberry. And so there's a bunch of Don Arándano shops, and you can go in there and you can get, I think on one of the live streams for dessert, we had miloja, which means 1,000 leaves. It was that kind of flaky pastry that they put blueberry on that. They put blueberry on everything. But Don Arándano is like the big chain down here that does all things blueberry. And we got 3 things from them today. So Don Arándano, there's not a lot of information about Don Arándano, like who founded it, when it was founded, or stuff like that. Just I know that it's big in this area of Boyacá department. So this is a blueberry-filled chocolate. It is 75% cacao, and cacao is the Spanish word for cocoa because cocoa is the Spanish word for coconut. So you see how that works there? So this is chocolate con relleno de arándano, or chocolate stuffed with blueberries. So let's give this a shot. Let's see, want to throw out another trivia question? Let's do that. Hang on. Okay, here's a good one. Who is the world's largest producer of blueberries? All right. So if you want to, you can give me the top 3. Now, where we are here in Boyacá province, Boyacá department, they produce a lot of blueberries, but Colombia is not even in the top 10 as far as blueberry producing nations. So who would be in the top 3 of the world's largest producers of blueberries? Don Arándano, that is correct, Eli. Mr. Blueberry. Oh, I see. That was your guess. No, I'm talking about countries. So countries, blueberry producing countries. Who are the top 3? Is that where a lot of the blueberries in the States are grown? Iceland, in Washington State? I think blueberries typically blueberries typically originated in the eastern United States, and then that goes all the way down into the south. Like if you go like along the coast, all the states along the coast, and then swinging down into Texas, that's where they're native to, and then going up into Canada. So I'm pretty sure it follows like the Appalachian Mountains. But that's where they're native to. Hang on, I did have that somewhere. Where is that? Oh, yeah. So that was one of the questions, was to where are blueberries native? Blueberries are native to North America, where they have grown for over 13,000 years, primarily in the eastern United States and Canada. Eastern United States and South. Oh, it's got whole chunks of blueberry in there. You see that? And the center is kind of like a truffle, not like the fungus truffle, like a candy truffle. That is really good chocolate. I'm not a big chocolate fan, but that chocolate is really good. I think it's because of the amount of cacao or cocoa that they put in there. Yeah, that's good. Oh, yeah. Again, not a big fan of candy, not a big fan of chocolate and everything. That's delicious. Now, one thing is, the chocolate is outstanding, but there's not a lot of blueberry in there. Oh, look who decided to visit us. It's Canelo. Canelo, who is, what do we call him? The dog prince. The dog prince, no, what do we call him? The dog knight. The dog knight, Canelo. So this guy followed us home yesterday. And so we're looking to see if somebody owns him, but I don't think so, based on the fact when the doctor took a look at him and said, no, he's been on the street for a long time. But he's a good little boy. Do you want a snack? Do you want a snack? I think he only speaks Spanish. Would you like a snack? You want that? Yeah. And he's off too. No loyalty from these guys. No loyalty whatsoever. All right. Yeah, he is cute. He is very cute, and he's very small. So when we brought him home, we thought he was a puppy. But when the doctor took a look at him at the veterinarian, he said, no, he's like at least 5 years old. He's at least 5 years old. So, he's just little. And the thing is like Doodle's bigger, but Doodle doesn't pick on him and everything. They just get along like swimmingly. So they're really nice. That was delicious. That's absolutely delicious. What happens is eventually you get kind of the skin from the blueberry, kind of breaks down, kind of stays in your mouth. And then you do get more of that blueberry flavor because there's a lot of flavor in the skin of the blueberry. That's really, really good. That's going to get a thumbs up. So the question I asked was, we got that already. Let's see. The question I asked was, who are the world's largest producers of blueberries? And I asked for the top 3. So Isan said USA, Washington State. Brenda said California. Those are probably true. I was basically going for the countries, and I don't really know the breakdown as to which states in the United States would produce the most of it. I would assume, because they're native to the East Coast, up through Canada, that those states would be the largest producers. Washington State probably has a similar climate, so I would think Washington State would as well. So I'm going to say, Isan, I'm going to say USA for you. Brenda, I'm going to say, you said California, I'm going to say USA for you. Adam said Nepal, Cambodia, and Dr. Congo, or the Congo, or DR. Is he back? He's back. He wants to come up. Now, he's different than Doodle. So Doodle will ask to come up. He'll come up, he'll kind of look around for a snack. If I give him a snack, then he'll take off. Now, he took his snack, he took off, but he's back. And he likes to, and again, we're getting to know him, because he's, like I said, he's only been with us for a day. As you can see, he's very thin. So he's been on the street for a while. Hey, Tom is here. I've been working outside and lost track of time. It's never too late. So Tom, you're just in time to see Canela. Yeah, Canelo. Canela is Spanish for cinnamon, and because of his color, we decided to call him Canelo. And so yeah, he followed us home yesterday, and we don't think anybody owns him based on what the doctor told us yesterday. And so he's kind of with us. So we'll see what happens, but he's a good boy. He's a good boy, and he likes to just sit. He likes to just sit there, as opposed to Doodle, who likes to take his snacks and run. I'm back and I'm drinking blueberry coffee, and I fell up the stairs. The drinking blueberry coffee part is new and interesting. The fall up the stairs part is like daily. So, you do have my DNA. So, that's what happens. Which blueberry coffee are you drinking? Is it, which is it New England blueberry coffee? Or, look at him. He's just he just sits here, just all calm and junk. A great new addition. Yeah, well, we'll see. I think he's just understanding that there's boundaries now, right? So he was living outside, and so we have to be very, very careful and make sure he doesn't slip under the gate or something like that and kind of wander off, because he's not used to having boundaries and everything. But he has a nice comfy bed. We let him walk. We have a huge yard. We let him walk around in the yard and everything. So, and he's really chill. Like him and Doodle both, very, very chill for Chihuahuas, I think. Let's see, did I miss anything? I did not miss anything. Okay, so another sip of this delicious beer. And I'm sorry, Canelo, you cannot have a sip of delicious beer. OG makes the greatest barbecue sauce. Stoner, Eli, did you see the episode where we reviewed Tom's barbecue sauces? We did. Janice, can you see if you can find that? We did an episode where Tom sent us some of his sauces, and we reviewed his sauces, and they were amazing. So if you can find that. Also, no more Concord grapes. Rip the entire roots out. So were the roots up on the top of the wall or the bottom? I just remember the thing, covering the whole wall. But we also painted 4 pots to plant 4 different marigold types with some of the ashes of our. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to like Concord grapes. So next time I'm up that way, I won't be able to have Concord grapes. Oh, yeah, the date Vader has passed. I think I shared that story about Vader earlier on, but the story I shared was where Fang wanted to make Vader his girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. Okay, everybody saying hi. Let's have another snack. Let's see, what do we want to do next? Well, as long as we're on the path of chocolate, let's do another chocolate. This is and let's see who made this. Oh, this is from Chocolate Araya. Not a lot of information on there. Not sure who they are, where they're from, and everything. I think it says they're from Santander, but not a lot of information. No website, nothing like that. Don't know really much about it. So this is chocolate with Arándanos, or chocolate with blueberries. So we're going to try this. Let's ask another question. Why not? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't answer the other question. Who is the world's largest producer of blueberries? So you guys had some great guesses there. China is the #1 producer of blueberries. They produce 32% of blueberries. United States is second at 16%, and Peru is third at 13%. Colombia is not even in the top 10, believe it or not. So, oh, thank you so much, Janice. So, Eli, there's the link. Janice just put that up for Tom's barbecue sauces. We did an episode with him. Very, very good. Also, you were talking about aguardiente. Apparently, black licorice and a Dorito taste like pepperoni pizza. Black licorice and a Dorito together taste like pepperoni pizza. Did you try that, Jules? Because I know you'll eat both of those things. And have you had aguardiente? Did we do aguardiente, Jules? But you're saying like you put a piece of black licorice on a Dorito and it tastes like a pepperoni pizza. Not yet, but I will. Okay, well, oh, you have. Okay. Yeah, do the licorice and Dorito thing and see if there's if that makes any sense. All right, so that looks like a standard chocolate bar. And again, this is organic. Ingredients are organic cacao, Arándanos, which are the blueberries, manteca de cacao, which is cocoa milk, or what do you call that? What do you call that? Cocoa. What they make white chocolate from. Leche. There's milk in here. Azúcar, sugar, and soy lecithin. All right. So let's give this a shot. Had it at my wedding. Oh, okay. I didn't realize we had it there, but tastes like watered down Sambuca. Well, depends on how you drink it. It could be water. Is he back? He is back. Come on. Come on. You can't have chocolate though. That's not good for you. Okay, no chocolate for you. No chocolate for you. 1 year. Are you gonna stay? You're gonna go, you wanna go, you wanna stay here? You can stay here. You can't have any chocolate though. All right. So here's a good time to ask this question. Which 2 Colombian departments? Now remember, departments are like states in the United States, provinces in Canada, prefectures in Japan. Those are departments here. Which 2 Colombian departments grow the most blueberries? That's when you have to look. That's odd. So the chocolate in here is almost like bittersweet chocolate. Again, I don't know what. Okay, I almost said I don't know why chocolate in other places tastes better than it does in the United States. I do know because I was the grandson, I think, of the founder of Reese's, because Reese's was a separate company before they became part of Hershey. I was like the grandson of the person who made Reese's cups, and he was complaining that they were disgracing his grandfather's legacy because they weren't even using like stuff you would use to make chocolate. They were shortcutting and using cheap ingredients and stuff like that. And he complained about it. And Hershey, their ears perked up and they said, you know what? You're right. We're going to start using, real chocolate in our food. And I'm thinking like, what were they using? If they weren't using real chocolate, now what are they using? But apparently they're going to change it. They're going to go back to the old recipes and stuff like that and use the old recipe for chocolate. And maybe Hershey's chocolate won't taste so pukey anymore. Cocoa butter. Thank you, Eli. We have met Chelada Val. Now we have to meet Aguardiente Val. Well, that's true. You did, if you watched the Reckless Eating episode where we did the, I think it's Secret Pizza. I think it's what it's called. When we did the review of that, you did see the Tipsy Val. You did see Chelada Val. We don't have an Aguardiente Val. So that has to be in a controlled environment, I think, because the thing about Aguardiente is you're drinking a shot of it, but you're drinking it over time. Now, I happen to like, because I like licorice or even anise and things flavored like it, that I like aguardiente. And so, whereas the other people just kind of slam it down, I kind of sip it. But I don't know of any time like I've done it in an episode or anything where I've like just, slammed it or something, or did like 3 in a row or something. I think maybe because I also wanted to do an episode on like malt liquors. And liquor, I don't even know her. And malt liquor is just basically like fortified beer is essentially what it is, like beer with a higher alcohol content, sort of like fortified wines, right? And I always wanted to do an episode of that. And I think, at some point I will. It'd be like doing an episode with like 5 or 6 different Four Locos. Like by the end of that episode, Val's going to be a little bit tipsy. So I don't know. I mean, if there's a way to do it that kind of doesn't violate YouTube's terms of services, can do it in a fun and safe manner and everything, I think we will do something like, we'll probably do something like that. Hershey is being sued for not using actual chocolate. Yeah, I think that's the thing I was talking about. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Like, what were they using? But it sure tasted like it wasn't actual chocolate. Looks like Janice answered the question. The question was, what 2 Colombian departments grow the most blueberries? She said Cundinamarca and Boyacá. You are absolutely correct, Janice. It is Cundinamarca and Boyacá. How about an aqua velva, Val? You won't be able to tipsy, but you'll have a pleasant aroma. No, but yeah, when I belch and I'll like drive the ladies crazy. I refuse to hold your hair back. Well, there's not much you have to hold back right now. If I go back to 90s, Val, you'll have to do that. But do it as a collab with Matt. Might do that. Or I might do it with Matt, like on a channel where he can get away with that. But, I don't think I would be able to on Trippy Food. All right. So this chocolate, he's so mellow. I just didn't even realize he left. He was just sitting on my lap, just like up and left. Really, really good. This, by the way, is the iglesia, the church in the Plaza Mayor, the main plaza in Villaleva. And up here, you see all these like fossils, but they're sea fossils because, believe it or not, this area is at 7,000 feet above sea level, but in prehistoric times, this was under the ocean. And so this place, there are fossils all over the place. And these in particular, okay. It sounded like one of the dogs going crazy. And these are ammonites. And the fossils are everywhere. So like you could break up on a rock just about anywhere and find an ammonite fossil. And unfortunately, it's illegal to bring them outside of Colombia. It's like, I think Brazil has something similar. Any fossil that you find within the country belongs to the country, and you can't take them out of the country. So they use some kind of oil that tasted like chocolate. Yeah, well, it tasted like bad chocolate. That was. Oh, you heard that too, Jules? I heard that too. I don't know what it was. Maybe Claudia accidentally stepped on one of the dogs or something. Was watching for the last 25, 30 minutes, but haven't said anything yet. No worries, Jake. You're here, and I think that's the important thing. All right, let's get into another snack. We did answer that question. That chocolate, I think I liked the stuffed one from Don Arándano. It's not that this is bad. It's just it's like a bittersweet chocolate, and so it kind of this one is sweet and delicious. This one is like a little bit. I don't know what's the word, and delicious. But I think I like this one better. I think I like the chocolate better. I think this one is bittersweet chocolate, and maybe there's a little bit bittery as opposed to sweetie. So there we go. All right. Early day present. When is your birthday, Jake? When is your birthday? Let's get another snack ready. Let's see. Let's do this one. Okay. So this, despite what it looks, let's see if we can get close up to that one. Anyone want to take a guess at what this is? And remember, let's keep it clean. Does anyone want to guess what this is? Tomorrow, April 3rd. Well, 13th. Well, happy early birthday, Jake. Everybody, let's sing along with me. And let's wish Jake a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jake. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. Cadillac for you. Happy birthday, Jake. Yes, Jules, you are correct. Oh, Nashies, welcome. Chronically what? Late? You're here, Nashies, and I think that's the important thing. Well, I'm trying to figure out what those, people are posting, and it looks like a little table and a letter A next to it. So what am I missing there? What is that? I don't know what that is. Not sure what that is. But welcome, Nashies. Glad to see you. Glad to see you are joining us. Yes, Jules, you are correct. That is merengue. Now, to be specific, this also is from Don Arándano, and this is merengón. Now, merengón is a dessert that's made with meringue, and that's meringue. It's very, very light. It's very light. And meringue is made with what exactly as you think meringue is made. It's made with egg whites and sugar. They beat egg whites and sugar until it becomes stiff. It's the same thing that's on the top of lemon meringue pie or the French meringue desserts. When you go to a French restaurant, you see that basket of meringue. That's the same thing. It's very light, very fluffy. Maybe like a little bit crunchy on the outside. And merengón is a dessert that down here became popular in the 1950s. It started appearing in pastry shops in Bogota, in Cali, and Medellin. And so basically, it is on the bottom of you'll have your merengue. You'll have cream on top of it, whipped cream on top of it, and then there's a topping on top of it. And typically, it's going to be this, which my favorite is like caramel. Oh, this is dulce de leche, which is like caramel with milk in it. And that's typically what you're going to find on it. But also, especially because we're here in Boyacá department, you will find blueberry sauce we'll put on top of it. We'll put both. We'll put a little bit of both on top of that, and we'll try that. So if this merengue is like the typical one, if I go to put a fork in that, it's going to break apart and everything. So we'll see. Well, we'll let you know in a second, Jules. Let's see. Oh, save you a bite? No, I won't save you a bite. When you come down, we'll get you a fresh one. So it's not going to be very delicious by the time you get here if I say that. Go for a spicy grilled pork sausage with blueberry glaze. That or blueberry sausage. I think I've seen that before where the sausage had blueberries in it. That would be really good. A pork sausage with blueberries in it. But with blueberry glaze also. Merengue is also part of making Swiss butter cream. Oh, but you add something else to it. So I can't imagine that if you're making Swiss butter cream, that's going to be like stiff like merengue, right? Those little sauce ramekins are adorable, aren't they? They look like little spaceships. I used to know somebody who could imitate the spaceship on the Jetsons. I cannot. They could also do pigeon sounds. I cannot. I mean, I can do an approximation of that. All right, so I'm gonna put the dulce de leche on first. I'm just gonna kind of drizzle that on. Let that run down the side because that's what they do. I should have I'm gonna stir it a little bit so that it softens up a little bit. You guys can't see me doing that, right? Can you guys see me doing that? I'm just kind of letting it run down the side there. Now, because of my aversion to caramel, I'm not going to put a whole lot on there, but, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and I want to taste it the way everybody else tastes it. Let's see, did I ask a question? I did ask the question about the Colombian departments with the most blueberries, and Janice got that one. Let's see. Yeah, let's ask this one. What variety of blueberry is harvested primarily in South America? So there's a bunch of different varieties of blueberry. This one's a tough one. You'll have to look this one up. But what variety of blueberry is harvested primarily in South America? Because they're not native to South America. Potatoes, they're native. Corn, they're corn, Central and South America. But I suppose I could show you me doing this. That's pretty darn colorful. And again, remember George Carlin, blue on the vine, purple on the plate. But they're blueberries before you cook them. So there we go. Doesn't that look delicious? You don't have to say anything. I know it. I know it's delicious. Scuba Steve is probably right. What did Scuba Steve say? July. Wait. Oh, because I asked the question. Okay. The blue ones, round. Yeah, the South American ones. You guys are all perfect. You got it. You got it. All right, here we go. I think we'll use the spoon. Use the spoon on this. Now, I'm expecting this to kind of, we'll see. Yep. But it breaks apart really nice into pieces, so that's nice. There we go. That was really light and airy. The meringue just melts. So you put it in your mouth, the meringue melts to nothing. So then you get the sugary flavor, because again, remember meringue is just egg whites and sugar. So you get that sugary flavor, and then you get the flavor of the dulce de leche with the blueberry sauce. It's really good. Like I said, not a big fan of caramel, but this is really good. One more piece, and then we'll move on. I just love that though. You put it in your mouth, and as soon as it hits your tongue, it just dissolves. The meringue dissolves. You get the flavor from that, the flavor from the cream and the toppings on that. That was exceptional. It was really, really good. Now, if you go into a place where you're going to order something like this and you're going to get it to go, or like the milhoja, also we could have gone with a lot of other things, like cheesecake and stuff like that. They also make a torte. Torta? No, torta is like a sandwich. Always, if you're going to get it to go, always get the sauce separate. Because what's going to happen is, especially because those sauces are wet, when they hit the meringue, they're going to start dissolving it. So always get them, if you're going to get it to go, make sure they put them in these little containers so that it doesn't start dissolving. But yeah, I'm, like I said, not a big fan of sweet stuff. That's really, really good. I really like that a lot. That's my name, Low Chill Jules. High yield, low chill, high bush blueberry varieties designed for long distance shipping. Yeah, now, the ironic thing about that, Janice, is that Colombia doesn't ship that many blueberries. They don't export that many blueberries. I think the biggest export from Colombia currently is coffee. and they probably export more coffee, more of the high quality coffee than they actually drink here. So they drink the lesser quality coffee here because they actually make more money by exporting it. And in some cases, they actually import. From countries like Vietnam, import coffee here. But there are local growers, very small. I think it was on the last live stream we did. We had, and I can't recall the name of the company offhand, but they're also here in Boyacá department, and they have a place where they grow the coffee beans, they roast the coffee beans, and they have a place where you can visit. A lot of these places that do this, they have what they call glamping, right? You guys know what glamping is. So they have places where you can go and you can kind of camp there with modern facilities, and then the, I guess you would call it a plantation, coffee plantation. They're right there, so they do drink the local coffee in the places where it's produced, but in general, like the big chains and everything, they might not have the best one here. They might have the good coffee, but not their best coffee, which they save for export. Coffee and emeralds. I know that there's a lot of emeralds come from Venezuela. I also remember when I was in Cartagena, which is on the coast, that they were big on emeralds too. So there were a lot of shops that sold emeralds. They do sell emeralds here, but for some reason, I was thinking Venezuela was bigger for emeralds. Venezuela at one point in time was part of Colombia. It was part of Gran Colombia. So when the countries in I'm going to say the northwest part of South America won their independence 1819. I want to say 1819. Got their independence. So when the Spanish colonized the area, they called it Nueva Granada. And then in the very, 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 very early 1800s, up until I think 1819 was when they won that war. They won their independence, and when they won their independence, they called it Gran Colombia with Gran, Colombia with an O, not with a U, and that incorporated the area that today is Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, and parts of Ecuador. So that was Gran Colombia, and that's what they called the area when they first got their independence from Spain. And so that's probably why, like, Venezuela and Colombia are very, very similar in, the things they export, things they eat, stuff like that. Does Colombia have poop coffee? They do not have poop coffee. That's from Indonesia. It's a kopi luwak. We should do kopi luwak if we can find it. I think on the blog we did kopi luwak because this was like 2009 or something like that. A bunch of friends and I from work, we all chipped in and bought a pound of the kopi luwak beans. And so we got a brand new grinder, made sure it was clean, coffee pot. We only used distilled water. We didn't use soap, and we washed out the cups and everything. And we bought a pound of the beans. A pound of the beans, and this is back, maybe 15, 16, 17 years ago, was $150. I don't know what it is now. But there was enough of us that went in with it that it kind of came out to about $5 per cup of coffee. Best cup of coffee I ever had in my life. Now, if you're not familiar with the story of how that coffee is made, essentially in the coffee plantations in Indonesia, the workers in the plantation were not allowed to take home the good coffee. So they would walk along the plantation, and this animal called the palm civet likes the taste of the coffee cherries. And so it would eat the coffee cherries, and it would go through the digestive system, and they would poop the beans out. So these workers would find the pooped out beans and go, well, they're not going to sell those. They don't want those. So they're not going to have a problem with us taking them home, which they didn't. So they would take them home. They would clean them. They would roast them. They would grind them. They would make coffee. What happened was, as they passed through the palm civet's system, the enzymes in the system countered the acid in the coffee and made for like the smoothest cup of coffee. Well, when the plantation owners found out about this, they said, well, we can't have this. This is like exceptional coffee. We can't let them do this anymore. So then what they did was they got a bunch of palm civets. They put them in cages. They fed them coffee cherries, and then they collected up the beans, and and the rest is history. So basically, it was like not necessarily a survival thing, but a thing of we're not allowed to have that, so we're going to have this. And then when people found out how good this was, it became a big thing. So I have had it before, but it was a very long time. So if I can find it again, maybe at a reasonable price, because I don't feel like just me spending $150 on a bag of beans. We'll definitely have to try that. But they don't have a poop coffee here in Colombia. Hey, Joshua Maxwell is here. Welcome. No, actually, Steve, you would think it's gross. Again, they're cleaning the beans. They're roasting them, so it's going to be a very high heat. They're roasting the beans, then grinding them, then making the coffee and everything. So it's not, it doesn't taste like poop. It was the best cup of coffee I ever had in my life. Best cup of coffee, the smoothest, mellowest cup of coffee ever had in my life. Yeah, that coffee flavor without that, the bitter acidity that you typically get with that. Okay, hang on a second. Julie has sent me something about, let's see, where I can buy it. Does it say how much? Let me see, because we can make this happen. I would like to make this happen. 250 grams. I don't know what 250 grams works out to. This is on Target's website. Oh, it says currently unavailable. Great. $31. I must make like a cup. But it looks like you can get it off Target's website. So yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. If that's $31, that's affordable. That's doable. All right. So the, what was it? The merengón. The merengón was absolutely delicious. Yeah, that's a big thumbs up. All right. Let's do our last guanábana. Okay. Yeah, let's do our last, so let's do our last Don Arándano treat for today. See, did I miss anything? Am I caught up? That would be a good video. Yeah, let's make it happen. We're going to make it happen. Jules, we'll get that. We'll figure out some way to get that. And when you come down, we'll do it. 250 grams is about half a pound. That seems like an outrageous price for half a pound. I mean, like $31 for half a pound of kopi luwak? That sounds low, exceptionally low. Pudding is here. Welcome, Pudding. Glad you can make it. Come on in. We're just getting started. We're not just getting started. Okay, so this is also from Don Arándano, which means Mr. Blueberry. It's all over the place. I need napkins. It's dripping because I have it in a bowl of ice to keep it cold. And still it's melting. So this is helado de leche, which is leche ice. Leche, so it's like ice milk. But this is guanábana. I didn't hear it. Guanábana and Arándano. So it's a mixture of guanábana, which is soursop, and Arándano, which is blueberry. And it is ice milk. So we're going to try this. I think I had a question about that. Let's see. Oh, no, I just gave that away. But I'll ask it anyways, because then you guys can, that's an easy one for you. What is the English name for guanábana? Thank you. Nashies is on top of it. Julie's on top of it. Thank you. All right, here we go. This is kind of melty. I put it in a bowl of ice, but apparently that was not enough to keep it from melting. There we go. Now, the blueberry popsicles is what Don Arándano became famous for. And again, I don't think they've been around very long, but it's hard to find information about it. But they're known for their popsicles, their blueberry popsicles. And anywhere you go in this area, you go into like a store that sells, like a grocery store, there'll be a freezer chest in the front of the store, and they'll have Don Arándano's blueberry popsicles in there. And again, this is ice milk, and it is mixed with guanábana and or soursop, as the English name for it. Blueberry. That is a hot mess. Oh, it's a cold mess. It's not that cold. The blueberry on here is like, it tastes fresh. Now it's purple. I don't know if they cook it. I don't know what they do with it, but it just tastes like, like fresh blueberry. You get that, like that blueberry meat or that blueberry flesh flavor on that. The milk is kind of nondescript. On that blueberry, that soursop, the guanábana, has very, very distinctive taste, and you kind of get that on the aftertaste. So the first taste you get is the blueberry. The blueberry's tart. The guanábana is really tart, and the aftertaste really comes in really strong. That is really good. I don't know if I should I don't know how long it's going to last in here like that. I'll put it back in there and see. That is really good. I have an idea. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I don't think you are, but I'm going to make a beer float. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Well, it doesn't really break down very much. Let's see. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. That's breaking down a little bit. That's good. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit more blueberry lemonade in there, or I'm sorry, blueberry limonada. And again, I'm making a distinction because it's made with lime and not lemon. But down here, limon is lime. Let's make this photo ready. For those of you who are going to do a screenshot of this or something, I just want to clean off the edge there. This is a mess, but it doesn't really break down the way ice cream does. All right, so we took our Don Arándano ice milk with soursop and blueberry, our blueberry beer with red fruit, and our blueberry limonada. Cheers. That's good. Oh, that's good. Now, here's the thing. It's very tart. And it almost feels like, or almost seems like this is something that should curdle, and it's not really curdling. So we essentially made a beer float, but we added that blueberry lemonade to it. You're great with live production value, though, so do what you must. Thank you. There's little bits of blueberry in something, and I think it's probably the ice cream, the ice milk. Oh yeah, that's outstanding. I'm gonna drink this for a while. How many of you guys have made a beer float? You guys ever make a beer float? Somebody, I don't think it was, maybe it was Eli, maybe. I don't remember who it was. Somebody had requested that we make a beer float using Schlenkerla, which is the German smoked beer, which is one of my favorite beers. So we did that, and then somebody else, or maybe even the same person, suggested that we do a Mountain Dew float, which is to use Mountain Dew and make a float with that, which we did. And I think we used like a pineapple ice cream or something like that. And those were both outstanding. But and I think Jules, you and I did a which one was it? The Autocrat coffee milk. We used the Narragansett coffee milk stout, and we made a beer float with that, with the Autocrat coffee syrup. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that we used a Hoodsie cup. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the Hoodsie cup, if you're from like Massachusetts or New England, you know what a Hoodsie cup is. A Hoodsie cup is ice cream that comes in a little cup about this size, and has a little spoon with it and everything, and it's made from Hood milk. And so I think we, if I'm not mistaken, and Julie, tell me if I'm correct, that we used the Hoodsie cup for the ice cream for the beer float that we made with the Narragansett coffee milk stout and the Autocrat coffee milk syrup. I think that's the case, right? Let's see. Dude looks a strawberry fribble. Someone forgotten the trash can. Yeah, but the taste wise, it's like amazing. Oh my God, that's so good. There's a burger place by me that does a Guinness float. Now, and if you're going to do something as strong, now when you say Guinness is a stout, and stouts I think are better for, if you're going to make a beer float. I think Guinness is better for that because it has this kind of like grainy, almost graham crackery kind of flavor, and the sweetness to it that lends itself better to making a beer float. But if you like an IPA, you can use kind of like a fruit flavored ice cream or something like that, and that would go really nice with an IPA. So you're just kind of like you kind of go with, when you pick an ice cream for your beer float, you kind of go with the flavors that are present in the beer. Like if I was going to make a beer float and I was going to use, like, let's say Budweiser or something, I might use like a tobacco or like ashtray flavored ice cream for that. That might work. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Janice. So Janice just posted the episode, and if I'm not mistaken, Janice, you tell me, we did the Schlenkerla beer float and the Mountain Dew float on the same episode, if I'm not mistaken. So there it is. If you guys have not done a beer float, you can watch me make that, and you guys can do it yourself. It's really simple. Your favorite beer, an ice cream that complements that beer, and just put that together. Really, really good. And the same with the Mountain Dew. Like for a ice cream float, you're going to use like a root beer float. You're going to use a root beer. But again, if you're using a different kind of soda, like if you were using, let's say, Fanta Orange or something like that, and you wanted to make a float with Fanta Orange, would go with a creamsicle ice cream, right? Absolutely. And so yeah, they're easy to make and they're delicious. So there you go. Yes, you did the Mountain Dew float on same. Okay, that's there as well. Four Loko float. That could work. That could work. There is a Four Loko that's available down here that's not available in the States, which is the Lulo one. And I did that on Reckless Eating. I did that for Reckless Eating, where I just tasted the Lulo Four Loko. But I would be interested in doing a Four Loko float, and I think Lulo is just the exact one to do it with. So can you leave a comment on the live stream or something where I'll see it, where it'll announce that there's a comment in there, and remind me to do that. And I will get the stuff to do that, and I will try that, because that sounds really interesting, and I will definitely do that. Oh, I see what Julie's saying year round as an answer to Miguel Rangel, because Miguel said, when do they start selling ice cream in Massachusetts? And believe it or not, Massachusetts, now I don't know how much it's changed over the years, but this is like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. They did a study to see who eats more ice cream per capita than anywhere else. And I think number one was Anchorage, Alaska. And number two was Boston, was the Boston area. And people were asking, like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would people eat ice cream in the winter? Well, why would people drink iced coffee in the winter? But they do. Because it's kind of one of those things, like, I don't care what time of year it is. I want it. I'm going to have it. And so yeah, they don't stop selling it. What happens in as far as ice cream goes, what happens in New England, in general is that it is kind of seasonal, and that's for the ice cream stands. Because so in throughout England, there's ice cream stands per se. Like it's not an ice cream shop. Ice cream shop like Brigham's, Friendly's, Chadwick's, stuff like that. They're going to stay open year round because you go indoors, you eat, right? But they have stands, like roadside stands that have ice cream, like Socks in Melrose. Jules, Socks, I think is Melrose. Is that right, Jules? You'll know because that was up near you. I'm not sure if it's Melrose or Saugus. There's a place called Socks, and it's seasonal, so they close in September. Socks is gone. Oh, that's too bad. They had really, really good ice cream. But a place like Richardson Farms is huge, right? You can eat indoors, and so they sell ice cream all winter long. But if you go to like a roadside stand kind of place that has ice cream, they usually go to usually go to September, like Labor Day. Some of them will hold off until Columbus Day, October 12th, and that's the end of it. Like we did that episode in Salem, Massachusetts, when we went to Salem Lowe's to get the chop suey sandwich, and they closed on Columbus Day weekend. So they were open through the last day, which was Columbus Day, which is always on a Monday. And then the day after that, they were closed for the season. They were closed for the whole winter because honestly, a lot of people aren't going to go up to Salem Willows, which is right on the ocean, in the middle of the winter. It's just going to be too cold, so they close. You got to eat it in your car. That's right. But JG's is a stand open year round. Where's JG's? Is it near there? Near where that used to be? I think we did answer that about the English name for guanábana because I gave that to you guys. Wait, why is my keyboard not working now? Oh, my keyboard's not working. Why is my keyboard not working? Oh, now it works. Okay. Let's see. That was this one. Yeah, might be. No, as long as we're in ice cream mode, let's finish ice cream mode. I'm just like cleaning up some of the water from the condensation from the fact that there's ice in this tray. And this ice cream is from, let's see, we got that. We did not get that. We did that. Okay. Where's this one? Where's this one? This ice cream is from, why don't I show it to you? This ice cream is from Santa Lucia. It's better to eat there. Real good ice cream, natural ingredients and everything, really good. Now, as with a lot of things like breakfast places and stuff like that in Colombia, a lot of these places are associated with a hotel, like a really, especially in this area, like in Villaleva, hotels are associated with certain things that are like really good. Like there's a place that does milhoja that's associated with a hotel. There's a place where we go for breakfast called Chusca. Really good breakfast. They do like traditional breakfast items in Colombia, but they kind of upscale them. Really good. But that's associated with the hotel as well. And Santa Lucia is also associated with the hotel. So they do. The ice cream place is not connected to the hotel. The hotel's in another location. And then they also have a restaurant where they do pizza, and I'm not sure what else they do there. So we decided we went by there and they had a blueberry ice cream. So we are going to try their blueberry ice cream. Let's ask another question because, I researched it. So we're going to ask. We did the blueberry harvested in South America. I didn't answer the question, but the question was Vaccinium. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Vaccinium meridionale, which is the Andean blueberry because it grows here in the Andes Mountains. Okay, here's a good one, a good general blueberry question. Who was the first artist to record the song Blueberry Hill? I found my thrill on Blueberry Hill. Who was the first artist to record the song Blueberry Hill? Extra points if you guess the month. Okay, that's a little bit runny. So that got melty. There you go, blueberry ice cream. You notice it's not blue because blue on the vine, purple on the plate. All right, let's just get our spoon and just try it like that. Now you have me singing Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia. I think Santa Lucia is a song that I think it's an Italian song, but the Swedes sing it during the Feast of Santa Lucia, which is like the Feast of Lights around Christmas time. And they sing Santa Lucia in Italian in Sweden. I don't know, go figure. This is really different. So the texture of this ice cream is really unusual. I don't know if you can see it. It's like whipped. The texture is kind of whipped. Now, this has like, you can tell they put whole blueberries in there. So you have the skin, like the texture of the skin there, which has some bite to it. Nice blueberry flavor. And it doesn't taste like overly sugary. Sugary. Doesn't taste overly sugary. I don't think there's like a lot of sugar in here. So it's very smooth, very creamy. And again, because I think it tastes like it's whipped. Very light, very creamy. A lot of blueberry flavor. And then you get those little bits of blueberry skin in there. You chew on them for a little while. That's really good. That's going to get a thumbs up. Now, the question was, who was the first artist recording the song Blueberry Hill? So let's see. Steve Russell said Fats Domino. Brenda said Fats Domino. And Jules said Gene Autry. Okay, so Fats Domino is no, that wasn't recorded until the 1950s. Gene Autry is close. Gene Autry recorded his version in I think it was 1941. But the first artist to record the song Blueberry Hill was Sammy Kaye, who recorded the song in 1940. So he was the first artist to record the song, Sammy Kaye. I'm pretty sure that Gene Autry was the second one to record it, and then Fats Domino was like 10 years later, or even later than that, because I don't think it was 1950. In the 50s, like 53, somewhere around that line. The color looked like it was the real fruit, and I like that. It was, and it had that flavor. And again, you know, they're not using that artificial blue color in here and everything. It's the color of blueberries, like once you put them in ice cream, I think it is. Sammy Kaye, yes, Janice is correct. Sammy Kaye recorded it on May 31st, 1940. That was the first recording of it. So then we have our float, and we put our ice milk with guanábana in there. We might as well put some of this ice cream in there too, right? Because that's gonna, I don't believe in things going away. I don't like to eat a lot of stuff, right? You know, so like, if I'm having something on the show that I'm not really crazy about, it's going in the trash. I liked when I had neighbors that if I was eating something, I could go, you know, to the neighbor's house or something and go, hey, I got snacks left over. You want them? And then occasionally, like, I don't have that option, and I'll just go ahead and do it myself. In this case, this is one of those cases where I don't really have a relationship with the neighbors where I can do that right now. But so again, here is our beer float with our Bruder, blueberry and red fruit beer. What else did we put in there? We put in the blueberry limonada. And again, I'm saying limonada because it's not lemonade. It's made with limes, but they call it limonada down here. And we have now, ooh, there's something going on in there. It's like it's lava lamping. Can you guys see that? You guys see the movement in there? Something in there is reacting. Maybe it's the ice cream. And it's kind of doing a lava lamp thing. Sort of like when we did the Pepsi milk, one of those kind of things. Said Gene Autry, and my mind immediately went to Spurs, that jingle jangle. That was Gene Autry. Gene Autry also, if I'm not mistaken, and sometimes I am, if I'm not mistaken, Gene Autry also did the first version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, I'll admit I'm wrong when I am. Ooh, that has like a foam to it, like a foaminess to it from the ice cream. So the difference between putting the ice milk popsicle in there and the ice cream is that ice cream has it kind of interacts with the beer and it makes this kind of foaminess and everything. That's really nice. That's still good. It's still really good. Now, no, don't get me wrong. I like that beer by itself. Let's see, how much do I have left? I have enough to enjoy that later. I don't want to, I just wanted to try it with this other stuff. And we might be able to put the next thing in there. We'll try that. It's getting kind of crazy. All right. Did I answer all the questions? Do hells have pescuezo po' boys? Nobody has that. You suggested it, Eli. I made it. That's, to the best of my knowledge, that's the only place that exists. And that was, I think we did a live stream. That was a live stream we did where we made the pescuezo po' boy. If that's a good name for it. I can't think of another name for it. Too bad you are too far to do the deep fried soft shell crab sandwich. Well, not necessarily too far. The trick is getting the soft shell crab. So they do ship them, they do ship them places. I'm not aware of places. I think you're better off in a place that's famous for its seafood. So like here in Colombia, I would think in Cartagena, places like Cartagena, Santa Marta, I think they would be places where you probably could find soft shell crab and get a soft shell crab sandwich. You may be able to find a very, very well-stocked grocery that would have frozen soft shell crab and you could make it yourself. I will do that. I will try to do that. Or maybe I don't want to commit Julie to anything, but maybe if Julie can find a place that has the frozen soft shell crab, she might want to try that. Julie likes spiders. I don't think she's ever eaten one, but I think she likes spiders. Or I might be thinking of Allie. Oh, yeah, because Julie wants to burn the house down if she sees a spider. We were talking about JG's, and Julie said it was Methuen, Salem, New Hampshire line. Okay. Or methane, as we used to call it. Methane, Massachusetts. It's Methuen, but we used to say methane. All righty. Let's try something else. Let's see. What do we have left? Oh, we have that. Okay. So to answer the question, right, it was Sammy K. Here's another question. I'll just throw this one out there. And we've got one more question. I'll throw that out while we're doing it. What is the name of the main character in the French Western comic series? It's not like a Western French. It's like a French comic series of like American Western kind of thing. What is the main character in the French Western comics whose nickname is Blueberry? So there is a French comic called Blueberry. It is a Western. And what is the name of the main character whose nickname is Blueberry? We'll try that one. You're going to have to look that one up. I never heard of it. All right. So last and definitely not least, we're going to do this. This is from Smart Snacks. Let's see. Do we have any information on Smart Snacks? Smart Snacks was founded in 2024 by Laura Mendoza and Jairo Osalora in Chiquinquirá. That's hard to say. Chiquinquirá. There, I said it. In Chiquinquirá, Colombia, which is in, I believe, in Boyacá department. And this is syrup de yacón. And this is syrup de yacón con arándanos. Now, yacón is the root of a plant. That was a question, but we'll skip that. Yacón is a species of daisy that's grown in the Andes Mountain, and it has a naturally sweet root. And so they take that root and they use it as a sugar substitute. Like it kind of breaks down. They use it it's usually in syrups, like syrupy kind of things, because it breaks down into like a sauce or a fluid or whatever. and yacón is it's the root or the tuber root part of the root of a daisy that's grown in the Andes Mountains, and so it's a good sugar substitute. So like I think on one live stream we did the cuajada cheese with the malao, and the malao is like it's like canela, which is that panela. I'm sorry, panela, which is the kind of sugar cane, the raw sugar cane where they take the liquid out of the sugar cane, and it's like piloncillo in Mexico. And this is usually used as a substitute for that. So it's a yacón syrup, and this one has arándanos or blueberries in it. Let's see. Do I have any information about them? Smart Snacks, founded in 2024 by Laura Mendoza, Jairo Otalora, and Inchiquinquira. I got it. I did it. Okay, so we're gonna try this. Well, it looks like blueberry jelly. I don't want to turn it too much because there's there's a certain amount of liquid content in it. It kind of looks like blueberry jelly. It has that same color that everything else did. I want to try some blueberry baklava. I would like blueberry baklava. My problem with baklava is they just use too much honey, I think, and it's too sweet. So I can only eat a piece of baklava about that big. That's it. That's my limit, just because it is so sweet. Typically, baklava is going to be pistachio flavored, but blueberry baklava, I think that would work too. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this on something special, and this is a buñuelo. Now, buñuelo, this looks like you could play a sport with it, right? Buñuelo is they're originally from Spain, and it's typically a Spanish wheat donut. Now, the ones from Spain are like donut shaped. They're just kind of like loose dough that's fried. It's typically a wheat dough, and it usually has a filling or a topping. In Mexico, it is topped with a piloncillo, which I mentioned the melao a little bit ago, and in Colombia, that's typically what you're going to put on top of that is the melao. And sometimes it has cheese in it. Sometimes it does not have cheese in it. It's a symbol of good luck in Central America. And the Colombian ones are often stuffed with cheese. And instead of using wheat flour, they use yuca flour. Yuca, that's Doodle barking in the background. Canelo does not bark, or he does not bark a lot. We have not heard him bark yet. I'm sure he has bark in him. We have just not heard it. He's a tiny dog. It's probably more like a yelp than a bark. So this is typically made in Colombia with cassava or yuca flour and cornmeal instead of wheat. So first I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up for two reasons. One, we can see what's inside it, and two, it makes a better surface for putting that the yacón syrup with the blueberries in it. I know baklava and blueberry flavor, even hearing it made my teeth hurt. I think it's the baklava, because baklava makes my teeth hurt. I don't care if there's blueberries or beef, whatever the flavor is in there, it's going to make my teeth hurt. All right, so here we go. Let me cut this in half. And these are fried. They have this nice crunch, as you can see by the grease on the bag. These are fried. And these you get there's little stands, little kind of doorway stands where you can get stuff like this. You can get, okay, so this one doesn't look like it's stuffed with anything, but it makes the perfect surface for us to put that on there. Let me see. I will use a spoon. I don't know how sweet this is, so I'm going to kind of go a little bit sparingly on that. If that's proper English, I'm going to go sparingly. I'm going to spare, go spare, ghost pair. I don't know. All right, so we're going to try that. Again, this is from Smart Snacks. It is a yacón syrup with blueberries. Let's try that. Oh, really unusual flavor. The syrup. It's sweet. It's very sweet. It's not sugary sweet. And thankfully, it's not like stevia where it has that chemical taste. A little bit of olive oil. In which, Jake? On this? This is fried. So, the buñuelo is delicious. Absolutely delicious. It's kind of like crispy on the outside, like cake in the inside. And that yuca flavor, it's like a real departure from something like this. Like you would look at this and think that it tastes like a hush puppy, or like cornbread or something like that. You definitely get the corn flavor in there, but it tastes nothing like a hush puppy or anything. It's the yuca flour in there just really changes the flavor of that. The quotes were tongue in cheek. Oh, no, that's really good. That's delicious. I think that would go really nice on like a nice crispy waffle. I think that would go really nice on that. No, there's a lot of places down here that, again, blueberry is really popular down here. And so a lot of places that have, blueberry waffles and everything. That's not a really great departure, except a lot of the waffle places down here, you have a variety of flours. So a lot of them, they'll do a yuca flour. When I say flour, I don't mean Flower, I mean FLOUR. They'll do a yuca flour. Some of them do like almond flour. Some of them do oat flour. So they're different. Like there's some places, waffle places, you go in and go like, I feel like a waffle. I feel like a yuca waffle or a oat waffle or something like that. You get different ones. Problem with some of those is some of those don't really crisp up very well, or some better than others. They're a nice flavor though. Stuffed French toast. That sounds good. We're going to stuff it with this. This I think, this is really, really delicious, but I think you have to go sparingly with this because it's very sweet. And I think you have to go very sparingly. What might be interesting is to make a waffle with this, but put this in the waffle batter, like inside the waffle batter and everything. I think that would be really nice because you get that sweetness and you get that blueberry flavor inside the waffle. That would be really nice. Now we have another half of a buñuelo left. Now, buñuelo also, a lot of Jews eat buñuelos on Hanukkah, for Hanukkah. It's a Hanukkah thing because I think it's the Sephardic Jews in Europe, in Spain, in particular in Spain, we're eating these during Hanukkah. So it's especially a good Hanukkah treat. Now I'm going to try something else here. Typically, if I was to put this syrup on something else, I would think cuajada cheese. It would go really nice on top of cuajada cheese. Maybe even cream cheese. Put it on top of cream cheese. Maybe just add a pinch of something spicy, like a pepper, and then scoop it up with crackers and everything. So what I'm going to do is this. I have some cheese. Now this is not a hard. I mean, this is a hard cheese. This is not like cuajada cheese, which we've done before, which is like high liquid content, kind of a fresh cheese, almost like a curd. So this one is not a fresh cheese. And I'm going to put a piece of cheese on that. And then before I put the yacón syrup on there, I have a little bit of ají rojo, which I cut up, which again, remember, the ají rojo is very, very hot. It's I took the seeds out, so maybe it's not that hot. It has really, really nice flavor. Two of the prominent chilies down here are the ají rojo and the ají amarillo. We've done both. Okay, so I'm going to put that on top of the cheese, and then so we do have our our capsaicin bite. We have our cheese flavor, which again sometimes is actually in the buñuelo, and then I'm going to add some of the yacón and blueberry. They're calling this a syrup. This is a lot thicker than a syrup. This is like a jam almost. All right. Doesn't that look delicious? And no, I'm not going to put it in the beer float. Val, what was the adult beverage today? Oh, hey, Joshua. The adult beverage was Bruder, which means brother in German. Bruder, cerveza saborizada, Arándanos y Frutos Rojos, which means beer flavored with blueberries and red fruit. So that was the adult beverage of the day, and then it kind of degraded into a beer float of sorts, where we put a bunch of different things in it. And it was like a beer melange. I could put something in there. I knew beer melange. Ooh, okay. That takes it to a whole different level. Ooh, ooh. It's a really nice cheese. It's a very firm cheese. It's almost like Romano, or it's not that hard as like a Romano where you're going to grate it. Not that hard, but it's also not a soft cheese. It's kind of in between there. It has a mild flavor. It has a little bit of squeak to it. The blueberries add a nice flavor to it. The ají rojo adds a nice kick to it, and it adds some nice flavor to it. And again, blissfully, I took the seeds out, so it's not like going to be over the top hot. That is nice. Yes, Joshua. Right on the front, it says syrup of yacón syrup. But it's more like a jelly than a syrup. I wouldn't pour this on my waffle. Oh, really good. Can you hear the cheese squeaking? It's nice because it's like a harder cheese, but it does have that squeak like a cheese curd does. That's really good. Now, again, because we didn't do goût mélange, we're going to do beer mélange. So I am going to put some of that in there. I'm going to have to add more liquid, so here's our Arándano limonada. Here is our Bruder, cerveza saborizada, Arándanos y Frutos Rojos. I'm not going to put a lot in there because I want to drink that beer separate. Here we go. Okay, so there's chunks of whole blueberries in this syrup, and I'm getting that in that mouth. Oh my, it just gets better. The thing is, we're not using anything that's a big contrast, right? So there's blueberries and everything. Most of the stuff has some amount of sweetness to it. There's not like a lot of like alternates like bitter and stuff like that. Everything just kind of goes really well with each other. That's really, really nice. Like, so that I don't want to call this beer mélange because then it's just something that's going to stick and we're going to have to do it again sometime. And I don't think I want to. But in this particular case, everything, like the ice cream from Santa Lucia, the ice cream from Santa Lucia, the yacón syrup with blueberries, the Bruder beer, the what else? The limonada, the Arándanos limonada. Yeah, everything outstanding. Really good. I don't know why I did it. I'm gonna have to eat that. I'm making lavender lemonade this week. Oh, are we gonna see that? That's gonna be an episode, right? Please tell me it's gonna be an episode, Nashies. That is really good. That would be like something you could make for people. Not a lot, I mean, not a lot of it because it's very, very rich. Not a lot of it, but there's something you would make for people that they would really enjoy. And again, if you don't want to do the beer, I'm not sure if there's a blueberry soft drink. I imagine like if there's a Rocket Fizz near you, they might have like a blueberry flavored soda. If you want to use that, that would be okay. And if not, I would just go with a sparkling water. Just go a sparkling water or a seltzer or something like that. If I find a blueberry seltzer, that's going to have alcohol with it. But if you want to do like, maybe see if you can find like a blueberry seltzer that doesn't have alcohol in it. If you want to make a non-alcoholic version of this, but it's really, really good. So I try to do something different today. I try to keep with like a blueberry theme and everything. I think it went okay, but I'll leave it to you guys. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. What you think of the episode. Would you like to see more thematic things like this, where we're taking like a certain kind of food and we're just staying with a certain kind of food? Would you like to see more of that in the future? So I would love to do it. Like I said, I wanted to make 2026 a year where we kind of change things up and we do things a little bit differently and everything, and we kind of like experiment and just kind of go off in different directions and everything. I want to do that. So hopefully we are doing that. And I appreciate you guys coming out for the ride. I mean that. Like I said, if only 2 of you had showed up today, we still would have had some fun. As long as you guys are interactive, you are the best. You're the best community I could ask for. I mean, seriously, I feel like you guys are family. We all know each other, and even if we don't know each other, we welcome people in. And it's honestly, you guys are a really, really great community. So I appreciate it, and I thank you all for your support. Now, please also give support to the people that we support. So if you don't know who they are, if you go to our main page on YouTube and you scroll down to featured channels and look in there. So Joshua Maxwell, Nashies, Janice Yamanaka, Tom Old Guy in Colorado, all have great channels, and show them some support as well. So just like us, if you like our channel and you have subscribed, or if you haven't, go ahead and do that. If you like their channel, and I think you will, then also subscribe to their channel. Also like the videos, leave comments on the videos and everything. I think for the most part, when I leave comments on any of their videos, on any of their videos, they always respond back and everything. So please do that. Please support our community. And we really, really appreciate you supporting us. So thank you so much. We will be back with something different. Maybe next week we just do another, grab bag live stream. I don't know. We'll do something, but we will be here for you next week. And I hope that we will see you on the live stream next week. So just remember that it's crazy out there. So please be careful. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. And we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Have a great week. Oh, there it is.